Okay, quick update based on some feedback I received on the last video. Just a note, I do read just about all the feedback I get on all of the various channels from the blog to Facebook to Twitter to forums. I read it all. I only am able to respond to some of it every so often, but I do read. Anyway, one of the common concerns that came up was how the navigation worked, particularly in the Exchange. So I wanted to show you some changes I've made to address those concerns and see what you think. Anyway, one good suggestion that came up, which is almost a duh moment, was to allow the, for me anyway, was to allow the mouse wheel to rotate the carousel. So you can do that now. You can spin the mouse wheel either direction and rotate it around. So very nice. Another thing that came up is, of course, you can click and drag and you can give it a little spin and it keeps moving. But these buttons can also be used. These buttons don't work the same way. The buttons rotate a fixed slot. So when you click, they don't just give it a little bit of a spin. They're going to rotate a fixed slot. And if you click repeatedly, it remembers the number of times you click. So if you know you want to go a couple spaces, click twice and off you go precisely. So those are some general answers and the addition of the mouse wheel. Anyway, on the Exchange, the big concern was, well, what happens when there's thousands of maps? That's a concern no matter what the UI is, of course, because it's very difficult to show thousands of things all at once. Nobody can process that, but different views can give different types of information. Anyway, the carousel itself is still here. I've packed it more, and if you are on a wider resolution, in this case, this video is taken at 1920 by 1080 resolution. So I make the carousel be wider and show more, so you can see more active maps. And of course, I'm using the mouse wheel to scroll now, but all the same other model paradigms work, and I've got really fast momentum on this. A really high angular momentum. Anyway, so that's wider. Of course, some people like the old grid view, so I've added the ability to switch back to a CW3 style grid view. In this case, all of the maps happen to fit on one page here, and works very similar to the way the colonial space does in Creeper World 3. There would be paging controls up here if they all didn't fit. If I had a few more maps, there'd be at least 2 pages at this view, or if my window was smaller, there'd be multiple pages. But you can switch back and forth. They work off the same data model. It's the same data that's downloaded, same thumbnail, same all of that. It's just a different view. Additionally, people said, well, yeah, it's great that you put the simulacrum maps in the Exchange, but I don't always want to see those, or I only want to see those. Well, I've added the filters for that. So if you don't want to see simulacrum maps, you only want to see the custom maps, then turn it off, or vice versa. Only the sim maps. So, let's see. Let me check my notes here. Okay, one last thing. Some folks asked, what does the UI scale and UI lean do? Well, UI scale is this. Make everything bigger or smaller. So let's crank it up 3 notches to make it larger here. Everything's bigger. Go into the Exchange. Everything's bigger. Carousel, grid. Looks like I've got a little glitch there with loading maps staying visible, but actually maybe it actually is loading the maps, and my network connection's down. It's been flaky this morning, I tell you. Time Warner / whatever you call yourself now, Charter. It's been flaky this morning. Anyway, scale. Yeah, on the carousel you get a real nice preview of the mission. In a mission itself, let's just Well, actually, let's just go back there. Jump into one here and play it. UI scale, you can see things are bigger here. If you want to see the effect, like so. This has a lot to do with if you're on a 4K monitor, for sure. Because the game map itself, you can zoom through wide range already, but you need the UI elements to be larger. The lean, let's see, go back to lean. What does lean mean? It's probably more appropriately called perspective, but you see how this panel on the left has an angle to it. That actually saves space while still showing you some stuff, but some people don't. So you could really crank it up if you really want to save space on a small window, or some people don't like it at all, so you can flatten it out. Your choice. And the editor pane, which appears on the right when you're making a map, also has a lean, just like the panel here on the left, and the lean affects it as well. Okay, anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update. Thanks for watching.